Hello YouTube, today I'll be running an Endurance Fisher survival mission using my health conversion Necros along with the Shield of Shadows and Despoil augments to boost my survivability. I'll be using an Arcane Pulse and... oh. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? For a game that's primary focus is shooting dudes in the face, Warframe can seem like a very complex game at first. Because when you're starting out in a game that has over 30 Warframes, 300 weapons, hundreds of modifications, enemy types and plenty of game modes, it's pretty easy to feel that you know just as much as this guy. This series is a remedy of sorts to that problem, as I'll be giving extreme breakdowns to guide newer players in this initially confusing and yet fantastic game. We start off our series with the core of Warframe, which are, you guessed it, the Warframes. Warframes are basically supersuits, giving you a variety of advantages on the field. You're able to wield powerful weapons with extreme precision, you're granted extreme mobility, great survivability, and most importantly, special powers. If you want to truly master them, you'll need to understand a Warframe's stats and exactly what those stats mean. A Warframe has 5 main stats: shields, health, energy capacity, armor, and sprint speed. Out of these 5 stats, only 3 are actually visible to you while you play. Starting them off is the shields, which you'll see in blue. These are your Warframe's first line of defense. They'll block incoming damage to protect your health, which you'll see just next to it in red. Once you've totally depleted your shields, only then will your health be damaged. The point to note here is that although your shields will recharge after a few seconds, your health does not. Now, as a newer player, your most common method of getting back health will be to scavenge health from lockers and containers around the map, which, if they do drop it, will give you a health orb granting 25 health. Finishing off on the health and shield side, a Warframe's average health and shield capacities will be 300. Now the third and final stat that you'll see on screen is energy capacity. And it's impossible to talk about energy capacity without talking about your Warframe's abilities. Every Warframe comes with 4 abilities. These can range from violently pulling your enemies towards you, creating impenetrable shields, impaling enemies with radial javelins, and much more. The 4 icons near the energy bar represent these 4 abilities, and each of them will light up depending on which ability you're currently using. Now, as you see, using these abilities drains energy, and when your energy is totally drained, you're no longer able to use any of them. As an added bonus to all of these abilities, each Warframe has its own unique passive ability. For example, Excalibur has increased damage and attack speed while using swords, and the Volt Warframe can accumulate electricity damage by moving along the ground. None of these passive abilities use up energy, so you won't have to worry about them too much. Now, a Warframe's 4 powers will make or break it in a mission, which is where energy capacity is extremely helpful because you'll be able to constantly cast your abilities. Since running out of energy in certain situations could spell certain death for your Warframe, you should be extremely wise when using them. Now, like health, energy does not normally regenerate, so you'll either need to pick them up from enemies, which will drop 25 energy each, or from the containers around the map, which will give you 50 energy each. Finishing off from the energy side, the average energy capacity of a Warframe is 150. However, there are Warframes which go much higher than this. That brings us to an end of all the stats that you'll see on screen while you're playing the game. Now that we're done with those, let's move on to the abilities you can't see, but which you will still feel profoundly while playing: sprint speed and armor. Now, sprint speed is exactly what it sounds like. Warframes with higher sprint speed run faster than those with lower sprint speeds. While this may seem like only a tiny insignificant difference, it does have a huge impact on gameplay and playstyle. So give it some thought when choosing Warframe. The average sprint speed of a Warframe is usually 1. Now, there really is no average value for armor, but generally an armor value of around 150 can be considered decent. The exact mathematics of how armor works can be a bit tricky, so I'll not go into too much detail there. What should be understood is that armor reduces the amount of damage a Warframe takes to its health. Not the shields, only the health. As you'll see in this following video, this Warframe, Banshee, has only 15 armor, which makes her quite squishy because it's almost equivalent to no armor at all. Compare this to the Warframe Valkyrie, which has a huge armor value of 700, and you can see that it survives much longer, giving you a lot more breathing time and far more opportunities to do this. And believe it or not, that is all you need to know about a Warframe's stats. The rest is all on the way you use its powers and the way you play utilizing these stats to their maximum potential. So to everybody who's still around, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, or if it helped you in any way whatsoever, then please consider leaving a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to help this channel grow with me, then please check out my other videos, and if it suits your fancy, consider subscribing. My next episode in this series will be how to use mods, which will drastically alter all the stats and the abilities of your Warframe and how you play. This is me signing off. As always, thanks for watching and stay casual.